Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at NDN TV Nigeria. Click on the subscribe button and be the first to get notifications. And now, let's join ace broadcaster MAMODE AKUGHA as he takes us inside the Niger Delta.
Hello out there and welcome to the program. It's Inside the Niger Delta, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region. I'm your regular host, MAMODE AKUGHA. Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, Dr. Samuel Ogbuku, says that the intervention agency will continue to initiate projects that are specifically designed to mitigate the risk of flooding, protect communities, and help the people in underserved communities across the region. Dr. Ogbuku, who stated this last week at the flag-off ceremony for the channelization of Kolo Creek at Okarki in AKUGHA West Local Government Area of Rivers State, added that the Commission will ensure the speedy execution and completion of the project.
I hereby flag off this project, which we are committing to start and finish. In Jesus' name.
Kolo Creek is one of the tributaries that takes water from the Orashi River down to the Atlantic Ocean. Starting from Okaki in AKUGHA in Rivers State, it runs through over 17 communities, most of which are in Ogbia local government area in Bayelsa State. In recent times, human activities and natural occurrences have caused blockages and the narrowing of the river, thereby reducing its water-carrying capacity and consequently leading to seasonal flooding that have continuously damaged farmlands and destroyed crops for farmers along the coast. NDDC Managing Director Dr. Samuel Ogbuku noted that the intervention would reduce the impacts of flooding on the AKUGHA axis of the east-west road, as well as boost the socio-economic activities in the area while reducing the threat of waterborne diseases.
Communities in those Ukebe area, AKUGHA West, AKUGHA East, and all those Ngene communities will also be safer because the volume of water that floods those communities will now have the right of way to the Atlantic Ocean, which is this channel.
The NDDC management also promised that the project would be given accelerated consideration to ensure it is completed as soon as possible. Speaking on behalf of the people, the traditional ruler of Okaki, King Elijah Harry Adouan, expressed gratitude to the Commission for the project, which he said would alleviate the long-standing challenges of the people in the area.
The current NDDC have deemed it necessary and remove that tear in our eyes today. We are witnessing a groundbreaking ceremony.
This channelization project is truly a dream come true for the communities as they have struggled for years with flooding and limited access due to the blockages in the waterways. However, they can now breathe a sigh of relief as the NDDC has responded to their calls for the declogging of Kolo Creek, which is already underway. Earlier, the people also bestowed the traditional chieftaincy title of the Itonji Okaki I on Dr. Ogbuku, describing him as the light of Okaki Kingdom. Inside the Niger Delta.
Bayelsa State Governor Senator Doyediri has appealed to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to prioritize and accelerate the ongoing reconstruction of the East-West Road. Governor Diri made the appeal last week when he led a delegation of elder statesmen from the state to meet with President Tinubu at the presidential villa in Abuja. The governor also requested the president to support other critical infrastructure projects in the state, such as the Nembe Brass and Yenagoa Oporoma roads.
Bayelsa State Governor Senator Doye Diri, who spoke on behalf of the delegation, explained that the visit was primarily to express their gratitude to the president for appointing sons and daughters of Bayelsa to serve in his administration. Some of the appointees from Bayelsa State include Senator Heineken Lokpobiri, who is the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Oil, Mrs. Didi Esther Wilson-Jack as the head of Civil Service of the Federation, and Dr. Samuel Obuku, who was reappointed the Managing Director and Chief Executive of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC. Others are Dr. Emomotimi Agama, the Director General of the Nigerian Security and Exchange Commission, and Prince Ebitemi Angbari, who is heading the Niger Delta Basin Development Authority as Director General. Governor Diri also urged the federal government to support the ongoing construction of Nembe Brass and Yenogwa Oporoma roads, which are projects initiated to help Bayelsa and indeed Nigeria to fully leverage the marine resources of the Atlantic Ocean. He then called for accelerated efforts to address the deteriorating east-west road, which he said has become a major challenge for the people in the region.
The east-west road is critical for connectivity and economic development in the Niger Delta region. As we applaud you for biting the coastal road, Your Excellency, the rehabilitation of the east-west road is very critical for the people of that region. And we humbly request Your Excellency to direct the speedy completion to ameliorate the challenges and sufferings of our people.
Governor Diri also presented to President Tinubu the Bayelsa Oil and Environmental Report, which he officially received about 2 weeks ago from the Bayelsa Oil and Environment Commission, headed by the former Bishop of York, Bishop John Sentamu. The report indicted international oil companies in the state of widespread pollution, which has severely affected the lives, health, and environment of Bayelsa residents. Diri therefore called for urgent environmental remediation and compensation to restore the livelihood of impacted communities. While responding, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu hailed Governor Diri for what he described as his commitment to the welfare and well-being of the people of Bayelsa State.
For you particularly, you are doing well. I must commend your efforts. Forget the party affiliation. We recognize your efforts and the commitment to the welfare of the people. You just have to collaborate and, put hands together to do those infrastructures that are necessary to encourage the economic development and prosperity of our various sections of this country.
In another development, Governor Doye Diri last week visited the flood-ravaged Biseni community in Yenogwa local government area of the state to sympathize with residents who were affected by the recent disaster in the state. Accompanied by members of his cabinet and other top government functionaries, the governor also distributed relief materials to displaced persons who were sheltering in makeshift tents in elevated parts of the community.
It is not only when it is time for elections that we come here to canvass for votes. We should also stand with them shoulder to shoulder when they have challenges like this natural disaster that is now afflicting the whole of Biseni clan. And so on behalf of their own government, the government of prosperity, the people of the state, I send the sympathies of all of us to the good people of Biseni community, and they know that we'll continue to stand shoulder to shoulder with them.
Inside the Niger Delta.
Standout Properties Limited presents a real estate opportunity of a lifetime. Bloom Towers, a waterfront twin high-rise buildings of 19 and 21 stories at the edge of the Atlantic Ocean in the prestigious Oniru area, Victoria Island, Lagos. Bloom Towers is a green and smart building project consisting of 1, 2 and 3 bedroom apartments and maisonettes, as well as 10,300 square meters available space for commercial and corporate use. Built for completion in 2027, Bloom Towers has 236 units available for sale with a starting price of 100 million naira. Lock down a unit today with a down payment of 20% and spread the balance over the next 24 months. Contact us on 080-693-47063 or 091-22-656-975.
It is a project that will bring huge return on investment.
Bloom Towers, from foundation to skyline. Ezekiel Group, oil and gas, dredging, power and air transportation. Ezekiel Group, petroleum product sufficiency, energy sustainability and infrastructure development.
The Niger Delta Development Commission NDDC says it will complete and deliver its first emergency shelter in the oil-rich region by the first quarter of 2025. Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Commission, Dr. Samuel Obuku, made this known last week while inspecting the ongoing construction work in one of the Commission's emergency shelters located in Utuokpoti in Ogbea local government area of Bayelsa State. During the inspection, Dr. Obuku revealed that the project will have features to help displaced persons deal with the trauma that comes from displacement. The NDDC team also sympathized with the government and people of Bayelsa State over the recent flooding experience in some parts of the state capital, Yenagoa, and Biseni community.
Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Niger Delta Development Commission NDDC, Dr. Samuel Obuku, last week led the management team of the Commission on an inspection visit to the site of a multi-purpose emergency shelter under construction in Otuokpoti in Ogbea local government area of Bayelsa State. In his remarks, Dr. Samuel Obuku noted that the project was conceived to provide a temporary shelter for people in the region who often suffer displacement due to seasonal floods experienced in parts of the oil-rich region. He added that the facility would be equipped with essential social amenities to provide comfort and support for the displaced persons.
With this project, you can see that it has everything. It's a mini community. It has a police post, it has a hospital, it has a school, it has hostels that can accommodate up to 2,000 persons. And it has a viewing center, it has a cafeteria, it has a warehouse too.
After the inspection, the NDDC chief led his team to Bayelsa State Government House, where they met with Governor Doediri. Dr. Obuku sympathized with Governor Diri over the recent flooding in the state that affected parts of the capital, Yenagoa, and Biseni community.
One of the major reasons why we came to Bayelsa State, Your Excellency, sir, is to sympathize with you, especially for the situation of the flood in Bayelsa State. We are in an interventionist agency to complement efforts of the state government. We know the state government is also doing its bit. The state government is doing its best, carrying out projects. So let us do the little we can to complement the Bayelsa State government.
For his part, Governor Diri bemoaned the proliferation of development agencies in the region, which he said was undermining the rapid and holistic development of the Niger Delta region.
The NDDC was a specialized body for a specific duty. And so the only other thing that can equate to any of those developments is to set up a Southern Development Commission, South-South Development Commission.
Governor Diri also commended the current NDDC management for their efforts and pointed out the need for closer collaborations between the agency and the state government, noting that regular interaction would help ensure that the Commission's projects and programs reflect the genuine needs and aspirations of the people at the grassroots level.
inside the Niger Delta.
Governor Sheriff Oborevwori of Delta State says his administration is ready to partner with the African Development Bank and any other development institution to boost agricultural productivity and ensure food security in the oil-rich state. Governor Oborevwori made this known last week when he received a delegation from the Development Bank at the Government House, Asaba, who were in the state to conduct a follow-up assessment for the establishment of a special agro-industrial processing zone.
The African Development Bank AFDB team, currently running its Special Agro-Industrial Processing Zones program in 7 Nigerian states, visited Delta State last week for a second round of assessments as part of plans to expand the program to include the oil-rich state. This visit follows an initial readiness assessment conducted in May.
This mission is being organized for the 8 states that we have selected, and Delta, we're just in Delta, which is about the 5th state we are visiting. We're actually particularly happy with the structure of the special purpose vehicle of Delta State, and because of that, we are using that also as part of the model that we are pushing in the bank to be able to implement the special agro-industrial processing zones across the state.
Responding to the delegation, Delta State Governor Right Honorable Sheriff Oborevwori expressed the state's readiness to fully support the launch and operation of the program in the state. Governor Oborevwori further noted that his administration prioritizes food security and is committed to exploring every available opportunity in line with its ongoing efforts to lead agricultural reforms in the state that would create jobs for its teeming population and foster socio-economic prosperity for all Deltans.
We are aware of the game-changing potential of this program for food security, agro-processing, employment creation, export earnings, infrastructure development, and its overall effect on the GDP, the well-being and the economic prosperity of our people. We count on your support to see this project to fruition, while we pledge as a government to meet all the necessary requirements to enable its actualization.
Delta State, beyond its vast oil and gas reserves, is also home to impressive agricultural diversity. Its fertile lands support extensive crop cultivation and livestock farming, while its prime location along the Atlantic coast is ideal for fisheries and aquaculture, which enhances its potentials and capacity for food production and security. These characteristics aligns perfectly with the Special Agro-Industrial Processing Zones program, which seeks to harness the country's vast agricultural potentials by encouraging the cultivation of high-potential crops in each state, while focusing on those where a comparative advantage exists.
Inside the Niger Delta.
The Niger Delta Development Commission (NDDC), in collaboration with Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, last weekend launched its 45,000 U-Lesson educational tablets to be distributed across the 9 states of the Niger Delta region. Speaking at the launching held in Abuja, Senator Oluremi Tinubu said the initiative was in line with the federal government's digital enhancement policy, which seeks to create a digitally innovative environment for young people to excel.
The Niger Delta Development Commission (NDDC), in collaboration with the Renewed Hope Initiative of Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, last weekend, launched its U-Lesson tablets to be distributed to students in primary and secondary schools in the 9 states of the Niger Delta region. In her remarks during the launching, the First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, hailed the NDDC board and management for championing such an initiative that highlights President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda.
This program is also in alignment with the federal government's digital policy, which seeks to create an innovative digital learning ecosystem, foster local skills development, and sustainable systems deployment. This is indeed catching them young. Nigeria cannot afford to be left out of the global village.
The First Lady also encouraged parents and other stakeholders to key into the initiative for the benefit of a better generation that is adapting to global educational technology advancement. For his part, the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the NDDC, Dr. Samuel Obuku, appreciated the First Lady for taking an interest in partnering with the intervention agency to deliver this initiative to students in the region. He added that the device was embedded with a rich source of the Nigerian education curriculum that will enable students to learn at their own pace within and outside their classrooms.
For those who do not have money to pay lesson teachers, these tabs are the lesson teachers that will teach those children. So these tabs can be used both online and offline, but they are highly regulated so that the children cannot also go outside its use to abuse it.
The U-Lesson tablets also functions as an offline video library which allows learners to access educational content without the need for an internet connection. It also includes keys for parental control and a reliable long battery life of up to 28 hours.
Inside the Niger Delta.
Family, friends, and well-wishers have described the late Sergeant Oweya Roland Imo Tonla of Baramatu Kingdom as a true hero whose lifetime was marked by selfless service to his community and Nigeria as a whole. This commendation was made last week during the 28-year memorial celebrations of late Sergeant Tonlaha in Benikrukru community of Baramatu Kingdom in Warri Southwest local government area of Delta State. The event, which attracted prominent Nigerian political leaders, including Right Honorable Sheriff Oborewori of Delta State and his counterparts from Adamawa and Taraba states, was a testament to the lasting impact of the late patriarch of the Tonlaha family.
Last week, the oil-rich Benikrukru community of Baramatu Kingdom in Warri Southwest local government area of Delta State, known for its beautiful waterways, welcomed guests from far and near who arrived in boats for the 28th memorial ceremony of late Sergeant Oweya Roland Imo Tonlaha. Governor Sheriff Oborewori of Delta State as host governor was joined by Governor Agbu Kefas of Taraba and Governor Amadi Fintiri of Adamawa State, who all stormed Benikrukru community in honor of late Sergeant Oweya Tonlaha. Other dignitaries who were also in Benikrukru include President of Ijaw National Congress, Professor Benjamin Okaba, coordinator of the Presidential Amnesty Program, Dr. Dennis Otuaro, and the former Deputy Governor of Delta State, Kingsley Brutu Otuaro, among several other dignitaries. As the boats docked, they were met with Ijaw traditional drumming and dances from performers whose local Ijaw attire added color to the event. Other dignitaries, including state officials, community leaders, family, and other well-wishers, disembarked amidst warm greetings and smiles, embodying the collective homage paid to the late Sergeant Oweya Roland Imo Tonlaha, a respected retired military personnel who began his career at the outbreak of the Nigerian Civil War. As the event unfolded, the air was alive with performances by local artists and traditional and cultural dances. The performances were not just traditional or artistic expressions, but also a powerful tribute to the life and legacy of a man who had been both a leader and a symbol of justice and unity in his community.
His contribution are beyond just Ijaw Nation alone, but to the entire Nigeria. Today, our late hero is being remembered 28 years after a demonstration of the fact that a good name is more precious than gold.
Born on the 13th of August 1932 in Benikrukru, the late Sergeant Oweya had a humble beginning as a fisherman. He, however, later expanded his skills to become a sea pilot, a career that took him across various international waters around the globe. Late Sergeant Oweya Roland Imou Tolan was a pivotal figure in the creation of Warri North local government area in 1991 during the military regime of General Ibrahim Babangida, when Delta State was carved out of the former Bendel State. For many who knew him, his acts of kindness extended beyond his immediate circle, touching countless lives within and outside his community. This enduring reputation for generosity and compassion explains the kind of crowd that continues to gather to honor his beautiful memory.
Most importantly, he gave his best for the nation. He believed Nigeria first, his own nation first, the family first before himself. That selfless service is what we need in this country.
The man that has lived a life worthy of emulation. The virtues Tonla believed and lived for before he died. Virtues of honesty, virtues of hard work, virtues of community service, virtues of service to God Almighty. These virtues should be exemplified by members of the family.
Whether you are not his brother or you are not his sister, we always make sure that we eat from him. That is why he trained us. That is why all of us we are doing it today.
Papa is a well-known community leader, and it's one of the rallying points of the family when he was alive.
The lifestyle and values of late Sergeant Oweya Roland Imou Tolan continue to resonate in the lives of his children, including Mr. Matthew Tolan, who is the Chief Executive Officer and Chairman of Matin Engineering Nigeria Limited. Late Sergeant Oweya Roland Imou Tolan passed away on November 7, 1996, leaving behind a legacy of dedication and honorable service to both Nigeria and his community. He was deeply regarded as an elder statesman and a symbol of integrity, kindness, and community leadership, with many continuing to draw inspiration from his exemplary life.
Inside the Niger Delta.
Well, that's our package on the program for today. Inside the Niger Delta, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region, will be back same time, same station next week. Until then, you can follow us on our social media handles showing right now on your screens. And please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at NDNTV Nigeria. Until next week, I am MAMODE AKUGHA thanking you for staying tuned. Bye for now.